In this program, we hear from Eagle Eye users and view the Eagle Eye operation in situ. We first visited a supermarket chain store to establish whether the Eagle Eye mounted in the bakery had been successful. The birds used to breed in the supermarket. They ate bread and were a nuisance to customers. They became a health hazard. But since the equipment has been installed, we have no problems. The eagle eyes on the outside deterred birds from the mall, while the installation above the bakery ensured no birds entered the area. Next, we visited Rusty Meyers on his beautiful wine estate Amani. Rusty has recently introduced organic farming practices and welcomed the opportunity of testing a non-lethal bird deterrent.
Well, we've always had a little bit of bird damage, but 2 years ago, in this block right behind you, we lost about 90% of our production to birds. And we knew we had to do something different, and we knew that probably one thing alone wouldn't work, but we found that Eagle Eye was very, very effective for us.
And the results?
Our loss was probably less than 5%. Don't have the exact figures on me today, but my guess is it was less than 5%.
Okay.
And we were very happy with it.
Okay, so you had a good success rate.
Very good success.
While some birds can at least be controlled by physical barriers in smaller areas, the protection of crops on farms is another challenge. Lourens van den Berg is a strawberry farmer in South Africa. The losses forced Lourens to investigate alternate bird control methods.
No problem with the birds under the nets. As soon as we go in the open field, we are now, then there's a problem with the birds. One of the problems is that the bird picked the seeds off the strawberry, and you can't pack it. You must either throw it away or use it for jam.
The losses forced Lourens to investigate alternate bird control methods. He decided to try the Eagle Eye system powered by solar power. The placement ensures that the crops are protected by the reflections. And the results?
Previously it was about 100%. Now damage now is about 10% damage of the fruit.
Birds used to roost in the rafters of this large printing press, much to the frustration of the engineer-manager Wally Baedeker. They decided to use the Eagle Eye.
The acid in the bird droppings actually eating the paintwork and damaging the equipment, and also the bird droppings on semi-printed work and completed books.
The major bird penetration point identified was under a roof. An artificial light source had to be used to simulate the sun with great success.
There's been a marked improvement. I would say at least 85 to 90% less birds on site. There's still work on our side to do to close up some holes and things, but otherwise excellent.
We chatted to Tony Lottering how the problem of pest seagulls was overcome at the outside breakfast area on the shady side of this beautiful hotel.
And we had to adapt and do or discuss different options around using the Eagle Eye. And through my experience and just chatting to a lot of bird experts, they are telling me that these birds are very intelligent birds. And whatever measure you use, eventually they do get used to it. But I must say, with the ongoing change that we've done here, you know, we've had a normal Eagle Eye and then we've put some red tape on and then we've done some other things. They don't kind of get used to one Eagle Eye. So that kind of confuses them, and that's really a good thing. I must say the reduction in birds was between 60 and 80%.
Johan Terblanche is a blue-chip residential property manager.
The problem with Hardy-Daas, on a constantly basis, we had bird droppings in the mornings that we hardly could control, and then we asked Eagle Eye to install Eagle Eyes for us. The results was enormous. We also had problems at our premises in the waterfront, where we had the seagulls, and it's also successful. With the Eagle Eye we had a success rate of 98%.
Across the bay there is another seabird problem, this time on jetties and boats. William Dow moors his boat in the small craft harbour. He chats about his experiences.
We found that the seagulls and the seabirds on the marina
were extremely difficult to control. And in spite of washing the marinas down twice a week, we found it was almost an impossible situation. You just clean and the birds would come back and they would just dirty the marina once again. I can't actually remember who told me about this eagle eye, but we did notice they were on the roof of the hotel, and then we decided to experiment with one, and we put the experiment just past my boat here. And from that time on, we noticed that the area around the boat started to improve. Birds would still settle, but they would settle further away. And if you look at it now, there are very few birds even on the marina. The problem also being, of course, when the birds are around, that they mess on the boats, and that, of course, chews into the materials and so forth. So from my point of view, this eagle eye has done something to keep these birds away.
Finally, we chatted to wildlife scientist and bird expert Kevin Shaw to establish how conservationists viewed the eagle eye.
Now, one of the great things about the eagle eye is that it's non-lethal, and it's something that we try and advocate. You know, we've come out of a history where a lot of lethal methodologies were used, like poison and shooting and things like that, and it's actually great to have something like this that is non-lethal.